you have a blueprint for happiness, success, and love. And you've had it your entire life because you were born with it. And what that is your authentic self. And if you're not living a life now that is successful or where you're happy and abundant and in love, then you might not have found your authentic self. And I can say that unequivocally because that was me. I did not do that. But because of that, I created a plan for you to find your blueprint. That's all that it is. Everything that we do is about how we choose to think about ourselves, the world, and everyone around us. That's all that it is. And we will experience our lives because of those choices that we make. But we all come into the world with limitations, and we come in with trauma. We come in with things that we don't remember because it's part of our DNA. It was something that was born within us. But what we're meant to do as we live our lives is to move through those restrictions and those blockages so that we can thrive, so that we can have this brilliant life, this extraordinary life, and then we offer that information to others that come behind us. That's how evolution works. And that's what's going on in our world currently. We are seeing so many things changing, but that's because we wanted to change. We wanted to become who we were meant to be. And when we do that, we put a different energy into the world of love and light and honoring who we are. There's not a single person that was ever born that was meant to suffer, to not have a brilliant relationship, to not have a career that they loved and where they could earn all the money that they could possibly need. But they don't always get there because they're stuck in some programming that they've accepted. I was stuck in that programming. I couldn't accept who I was. I couldn't accept that I had some other ability that others might have judged in some way, so I thought something was wrong with me. And then I started to discover that because I had that life and lived all of those things, I developed techniques and processes that could help anyone move through anything. Anything in your life, you could move through it because it's all in your mind. I have done mind-body healing that you can't even understand. No one understands, and not even my doctors. But that's because I've been doing this for a long time. That's what allowed me to develop these techniques. It is all mind-body connection in our physical bodies, but that's because sometimes we are denying our authentic selves. And so these diseases, these ailments kind of then start showing up because we are not willing to own who we are. Every single person is meant to be abundant. That's the other thing. And if you don't have that correct career or job, you're blocking it somehow because you're not allowing yourself to understand who you are. And again, I did this so I know what you have done. And I'm also very patient with all my clients because I know how hard it was for me to change. And that's all that it is. It's a cognitive process that we move through to change everything. What I've done, and I want you to understand this because in my program, this is how it works. This is the plan that I've given everyone, and it's one that I have used since 1988. So that's how valuable this is because I brought all of this knowledge and wisdom that I downloaded, that I channeled into this work. So there is nothing that you can't change. Nothing. It's just your willingness to do the work, your willingness to change your mind about all the stuff that you've either accepted from others or you've programmed into yourself. When I began, people would look at me and they said, "Oh, but you're so confident and you can go out and do all these things." That's never true. I could never do that. When I was 12 years old, my parents sent me to a speech coach so that because they knew I wasn't willing to really express myself. I couldn't hold on to who I was. And then they saw that I was afraid of everything. I couldn't do anything at all. So yes, I know what is possible. Then I started to come down with all these strange illnesses and diseases that no one could figure out. But then because of the work that I was doing and receiving, I healed them all. And I'm 72. I healed them all at this point. So I know what is possible. And the only reason we don't change is because of our fear. We're just afraid. We won't take those steps. But the other part, what could have happened for you is that you took all these other programs, you did all this other work, and nothing changed. And you're still the same person and you're still pissed off about something. That's what happened. You didn't have the right work. That's all. Or you went to this coach and they worked with you forever, or this therapist and all of those folks, and they worked with you forever and nothing changed. Well, in my work, it changes. I just received a message from someone in the program who went through all of those things. He went through 12-step programs, counselors, therapists, groups, everything, even hospitalized for years because no one could figure out who he was. In this work, he's starting to figure it out. He just sent me a message today saying, I have so many options. I have to figure out which one to do. I have to decide which one is going to be best. This is coming from someone who had no options, they thought, before. And there are other people in there that are doing the same kind of thing. So that's why I guarantee the work in this program, because it absolutely works. If the only reason it wouldn't is that you give up. And if you give up on yourself, what kind of life would you have? What do you expect would come out of your life if you just decide, I'm just going to stop now? It never worked before. This is why I guarantee my program. This is why I changed the name of this particular part of it, my boot camp, to Your Last Development Program, because you wouldn't need anything else. We're doing the same thing. We're getting you to understand what your worth and value is, then to start to assimilate that. It's an integration process that has to happen. Your consciousness changes, your awareness changes, and all of a sudden each day you're feeling more empowered. You can go out and do things. You can go out and own who you are. And we're moving through a time where that's becoming very important, because there are going to be many, many different ideas and beliefs from everyone else, including your family, and you're going to want to know who you are. You're going to want to own your life and your beliefs, and that takes time of training, depending on where you came from, to accept your brilliance, because everyone has it. And it's just that you might have interpreted yours in the wrong way, just as I did, but that's why I love doing this work. So I'm saying this because I'm going to allow just a few people to come into my program, because next year I am changing it, as you might know, and it's going to be much more expensive and extensive, because I had to come to realize that this is something that could give anyone the ability to manufacture, to manifest this in extraordinary life. So that's worth a lot. But I'm taking December to really enhance it, and I'm working with those people in the program who come in now, working with those people to make sure that you're off to a great start and that your life starts to soar. That's the guarantee that I give you. And all the guarantees that you see listed are real. And I can say that because you can't coach anything that you haven't done. And so everything that you read there is something that I've done in my life. And things that you would not believe, but they happen. But it's all because I chose to do the work and use my mind. That's the only place we live, and it's the only place we can change anything. So check everything out, but just know that just think about this. If you're not having everything that you want in your life, it's because of a choice that you have made, because you're not willing to discover who you are. That's all. I did, though, and I'm telling you, it is the most exhilarating experience you will ever have.